Caroline and I have been discussing all morning, kind of a bit like the Salesforce question. What does Modal do? But I think like the understanding is it's more analogous to like a Together AI and maybe nearer to a Neo cloud. But just explain that basic question to us to start.
Yeah, totally. And it's great to be here, by the way. So we build the infrastructure layer of a lot of AI applications. So if you think about a lot of all these AI applications, people building things like generative media or large language models or things like vibe coding platforms, they all need a software layer to run that. And so we basically provide that software layer by aggregating a lot of underlying physical infrastructure, a lot of GPUs all over the world, and then make it easy for engineers to build things on top of that. Build things, whether that's related to training or inference or batch processing or code execution or many other things. So we have a lot of customers like Meta, Lovable, Suno, Ramp, and Scale. A lot of happy developers who basically build things using our SDK on top of this infrastructure platform.
So that sounds very much like AWS and AWS Lambda. Is that fair? Like what's the landscape here?
There are some similarities. Like AWS Lambda is built for more of a traditional infrastructure, and I think what we realized when we started this company was basically a lot of traditional infrastructure, things like AWS Lambda or Kubernetes or Docker, just isn't built for AI. So we realized that in order to build this new layer of infrastructure to support all these applications, we basically had to throw out a lot of the existing infrastructure and build a whole new stack. But we're very happy customers of AWS. We run on AWS, we run on many other hyperscalers. We have great partnerships with them. I think what they're good at is running all the physical infrastructure, all the data centers. And then what we're very good at is innovating in the layer above with the developer experience and building this platform that enables engineers to build all these AI applications on top of it.
So you've got $80 million more in funding. We've raised more than 80 million. And now that takes you to 111. What do you need all the money for? What are your absolute costs, Erik? What's keeping you up?
Yeah, for sure. So far, we've actually been pretty capital efficient, but we see a lot of demand out there. There's so many customers building these applications. Starting to see a lot of adoption also in later stage companies. A lot of enterprise companies are now taking what's maybe previously research prototypes and putting it into production. And they need a platform to run these applications, and that's when they come to you. We think there's just a massive opportunity. That the market is exploding, so much demand out there. So we're going to take this money and first and foremost hire a lot of engineers to build, because we need to invest in this platform. We're building a very deep platform, but also invest, of course, in sales and marketing.
How hard is it to find the right talent? How expensive is it?
It's hard. It's hard. I mean, we're in New York, so I think we're actually a little bit sheltered from the very worst part of it. But yeah, it's very hard to find all these these people solving these hard infrastructure problems.
Erik, we're going to bring back some video. We're just showing the platform. It still comes back to access to infrastructure, the GPUs, the underlying technology, right? Are you taking on the capital burden of that? Like who's actually paying for access to lease or buy out the capacity?
No, we're trying to be very capital efficient in the sense that we don't actually own any underlying physical infrastructure. Like I mentioned, we run on top of a lot of different clouds. We run on all the major hyperscalers. We're adding a bunch of neo clouds. And so our view is that, in order to move fast, in order to expand very quickly, it's much better to build in the existing physical infrastructure. And we focus more on the layer above, the software layer. And that enables us to move very quickly and expand very quickly in a more capital efficient way.
Erik, you're going global. You've got a lot of love from the likes of Scale AI, but Lovable as well. That's more an overseas play. How much are you able to broaden this?
A lot more, and it's great to see customers like Lovable. I actually grew up in Sweden, and so Lovable is Swedish. But yeah, most of the customers are in the U.S., but we're seeing a lot of very wide different types of use cases, right? Like I mentioned, things like generative media or large language model applications. But some of the stuff we've also seen more recently is a lot of computational biotech. I talked to a customer the other day who was literally using Modal to cure cancer. And then weather forecasting. There's many other applications. So it's super exciting.